Well, welcome to another point of sale cloud, POS cloud, or our common name is Follow 2 training video, and this one is on editing. Now, before a counter person or a manager can edit, one of the things that has to happen is you have to turn on the Enable Edit Ticket option. And make sure that's on if you want your counter people to edit and your managers to edit, but enable ticket. So that's very important. And that'll allow you to access the edit area. Now, if you go to counter duties, there is an option edit ticket. That'll take you to the edit search. There's also a ticket search. And the ticket search also brings you to being able to edit. The fastest way to get there is always click your dashboard if you need quick access to something. Click Edit Ticket and you're brought to the Edit Search screen. Now I'm going to walk you through each of these elements, but basically an Edit Search screen will display the tickets based on the criteria that you entered to search. So if you're looking for one particular ticket, you can click the ticket field where it says ticket number, and you can enter the ticket number, and that ticket should appear. Okay, so if I enter 200209, for instance, it'll come up. And the ticket number overrides the date filter. So if that particular ticket came in, for instance, you can see it came in on 7/23, but we've got a date filter set for only showing tickets from the 26th. So that overrides it. You can enter a ticket number and then click on the ticket and click edit, or ticket history, or reprint the ticket, or if you need to get into the customer, you can click that. So once a ticket appears, you could do things with it. So I do want to show you some different ways to search, though. If I want to see all the tickets that came in last week, and I want it based on anybody whose name starts with test. So I'm going to enter test over here. I'm going to select the date range for all of last week. Click search, and you can see everything that came in. There's voided tickets and processed tickets. Now, if I wanted to see everything for tests that was supposed to go out last week, in other words, scheduled for the out date, and you can see the out date column, then just select the date out filter. Okay. Now, again, if you turn the filters off, you're going to get everything that's ever been created for test throughout the history of the store, and that's a lot of data. So I do recommend you set some kind of filter, otherwise you're going to end up with a lot of stuff. Now, under the name account number, you could put in the phone number. So I can put 5551212 and hit search for that date range, and it's not going to find anything particularly because we didn't have anything within that date range. Okay, so that's another way that you can do the filter section. You can also filter by doing a filter on a date range and a status. So let's say I want to see all the quick tickets that came in for the past week, and we don't have any, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and see if there are some. So there's some on 7/20 and 7/13 that came in. So again, you could set a filter and say, hey, what are all the quick tickets that came in today? Okay, and if anything came in today, hit quick ticket, and then you can click the ticket and hit edit ticket and itemize it. If you don't know, a quick ticket is a customer comes in, you don't really have the time, and they don't have the time to go through and itemize. So you just say like 6 dry cleaning items, print them a receipt, and you itemize it later, saying that there were 3 shirts and a dress and 2 pairs of pants, etc. Now you can also, in this filter, so if we actually go back to all so we get lots of data, You can also in this filter select anything. Like I can click on rack and it'll bring every rack. I can click on account number and it'll sort it by account number. I can click on name, it'll sort, so it'll put everybody with the same name together, or account number, it'll do the same thing. So you can sort by ticket number, you can sort by route, and again you can come and scroll over here and you could see on that particular ticket what the quantity was, how many items, what the total ticket, what if they paid the ticket, how much is due, the tax, environmental fee, and if coupons were added. So you get a lot of versatility here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come all the way down here and we're going to select one of these tickets that has a few items on it. So I'm going to choose this one that has 6 items on it, ticket number 200-202, and I want to show you a few things before we edit it. One is if I want to see the history of the ticket, I can click that. And in fact, let's go to this one. This is picked up, so I'm going to go to the history. And you can see that the ticket was added by user at station at this date and time. The ticket was picked up by user 1, and then let's see, a couple days later it was actually picked up again, and so that kind of gives you some information, you know, around it. Now you can click the back arrow, get exactly back to where you were, but it comes in with the defaults. Okay, so again we're going to set this for everything from the last week. We're going to hit search and we're going to select something else. So you can see that this ticket was voided. So we have ticket history. It was added on this date and time. Someone changed the ticket and edited it, and at the same time, notice the dates and time, they edited it so they can void it. Okay, and let's go back over here, change our date filter for a week, and see a few more things. So we're going to go back to the ticket we were going to look at that had 6 items on it. And if I want to reprint the ticket, I can simply hit print. It says, do you want to do it now? And I'm going to go ahead and boom, the ticket comes up. Okay. And then the next thing I want to do is if I want to take a look at the customer, like look at this particular customer, I'm going to hit edit customer, and it'll take me to the customer screen where I can change their accounting information, look up their sales, check their loyalty, their credit card information. I can give them an email that it'll automatically email them a copy of the ticket, statements, and it'll also email or text them when the order is ready. So when the order's ready to pick up, they can actually get notified. All right, and we talked about that under customer. So enough with the search. I think we kind of understand that. We're going to go ahead and pull up this particular ticket that we created today. It's got a quantity of 6 items on it. I'm going to edit the ticket, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So we're gonna go ahead. This particular ticket's been played with a couple times, so let's pick up a simpler ticket, one that doesn't have as many items on it. So we're gonna go to this one here and click edit ticket. So this has a 2-piece dress. Okay, I'm sorry, this is 2 dresses that are 1 piece, but we're going to go ahead and delete and remove that item because we don't want it. Okay, you're going to notice the subtotal at the bottom and the total is 0, and now we're going to add a dress, and after we add the dress, let's make it a 1-piece dress. Okay, and I guess we've got some problems in the quantity in the dress. Now, by the way, if you ever see that the piece count doesn't match the actual item itself, then the best thing to do is go to your utilities and go to your item manager and just edit the item. So we're going to go here to dry cleaning, and we're going to go to dress, and we're going to notice that there's one piece that gets added here, but if they choose a one-piece dress, they're adding another item here, and a two-piece, they're adding two items here. So this is a common mistake, that when you add optional four subcharges or sub-items, if it says add to pieces, then this number here will add to this number here. So we basically need to change this to 0. And after we change that to 0, hit save, because that's a two-piece item and a one-piece, and we want to add it to 0. Either that or you had to change these, but you've got to do the math. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back to our ticket. Now notice that I went immediately to Item Manager, made the modification, and then I was able to hit the back arrow, and it brought me back to the same ticket at the same location. So what we're going to do is, that piece count was wrong, so we're going to delete it. And when you add it now, so we're going to add the dress itself, and we're going to go one piece. It now adds one piece because it's a one-piece dress, and the piece count was kind of messed up before. So now we fixed it. So now we're going to add a scarf. So I'm going to click scarf. Now you'll notice whenever you click an item without clicking a quantity, it defaults to 1, because it always returns back to 1. If I had 2 sweaters, I'm going to go 2. Notice there's a 2 in red on the left, and then I click sweaters, and it's going to add 2 sweaters. So the piece count now is 4, because I have one one-piece dress, 1 scarf, and 2 sweaters. Now, you'll notice that the item is highlighted. It's highlighted in gray. That means that's the item you're currently working on. When you add a new item, it selects the last item. You could select any other item and add colors and upcharges and fabrics to it after the fact, and we'll do that. But right now we're working on the sweater, and I want to make it green and pink, or beige, because they're 2 sweaters. And if I click cotton, it's because I click it once, it's only going to add the 50 cents once. Now if I have 2 sweaters and both are cotton, then you want to click 2 cotton, and that's going to add it twice. It's going to add $1, just 2 times 50, and it's going to add $1 to the item, but it's also going to say cotton and put 2 in parentheses. Now if I said linen and I don't click 2, remember it defaults back to 1, it's just going to add 75 cents, and it's going to have no quantity after it. That means it's 1. Okay? So let's go a little bit further. Let's add a laundry item. I'm going to click laundry. I'm going to add a jumpsuit. And it knows that the customer prefers light starch, so it tells me, you know, do you want light starch? So we go ahead and we add the jumpsuit, and it adds light starch. And now I can add optional upcharges. I can add colors because it's highlighted. I can add different types of fabrics. Or I can add one of the damage waivers, faded, beads, or damaged. So if I say that this jumpsuit was damaged, you're going to see that it automatically says this item has pre-damage, and on the ticket it's going to ask you to have the customer initial, that they know it's been pre-damaged and you didn't damage it. Okay? So as for alteration, let's go choose a dry cleaning item, and let's choose a pair of pants, trousers. And you're going to see that the trousers are now added, but now we're going to add an alteration. And we're going to say fix the zipper on the pants. It's going to say, would you like this attached to the last item? I'm going to say yes. And you're going to notice that the trousers are here, but now it adds the pant zipper and it says on the trousers. Now, if you said no, it won't say on the trousers. Okay, it'll say just pant zipper. Okay. Now, you'll notice also that since we attached it to the trousers, it doesn't add a piece to the piece count. Okay. But if we did not attach it to the trousers, it would add another piece to the piece count of the ticket. Okay. Now, if you had to add a comment to this particular alteration, there's a button down here called Other. And if you click that, you could come in here and add a description, like zipper needs to be blue. Okay. Now, you can add an optional price, so I can add another $1, or I can add $5, or I just skip it and hit save. And you'll see that on the pant zipper, it now has whatever comment you type. Now, by the way, you can add this to anything. So let's get out of dry cleaning and let's go to household. And let's go to curtains, because now we're going to charge per pleat. And it's going to pop up and say, how many pleats are there? I'm going to say 12. So it's going to add one curtain, but it's going to charge for 12 pleats. Okay? So it's going to add one curtain, but it's going to charge for 12 pleats. So you'll see that the price immediately starts going up a little bit more and more. Okay? But let's go add a pillowcase. And let's add the description. So I can click that Other, and I can say, let's say, fold case in 4 parts. And again, I want to charge $1 for that, so I'm going to hit save. So it added $1 to the $2.50, so now it's $3.50. And puts the comment right below. So you could see in editing a ticket that it actually goes pretty fast. Let's go back to dry cleaning, and let's add a vest. And the vest, we're going to give them a 20%. No, let's just say that it's linen. So I'm going to click linen, and that's going to automatically add to it. So the other thing you could do in Edit is select a previous item. Like this scarf has no optional upcharges, but you found out later it's cotton. Just add the cotton, it'll add the 50 cents to it. So by selecting the item on the left, you can modify it. You can remove the line. You can change the price. So I want to change the trousers to $5. Okay, and I want to change the unit price. Okay, so now it's $5 and there's one item. Now, if I change the quantity, I want to say, hey, there's 2 of them. Then it's now going to be $10 because it just changed the quantity and the unit price. Okay. Describe in price is a button you can click and add any description for any kind of item that you want. So it's something you don't have a button for, so I'm going to say this is a ugly blouse, and I want to charge $12 for ugly blouses. And I'm going to hit save, and you're going to notice down at the bottom it just added an ugly blouse. It's highlighted, so now I can add optional upcharges, colors, and fabrics to it without any problem. So we're going to make it a dark gray ugly blouse. So that's it. All you have to do at this point is save and print, or if they say it's too expensive, void it. So if they're ready to print it, hit save and print. If you're not done itemizing, it actually saves everything while you're doing it. So if you're trying to itemize something that's really big, you could click over and you could go immediately to pick up a ticket for somebody else, and then come back and edit this ticket. So go to ticket search or edit, and then just pull the ticket number up. Just remember the ticket number, or it's the last one. So we're going to go save and print at this point. You're going to go to the main save and print screen. They owe $174. It's a total of 10 pieces. At this point, you can do several things. You can email a copy of the ticket to the customer if they have an email address on file. You can print this ticket with a rush ticket, so it's going to say rush on top. You could do a prepayment. So, hey, they owe $174, I can pay the whole thing. Or you can make them pay partial. You can add a deposit to the ticket, but I recommend just do a partial prepayment, because that way, if it's $174 and you want them to pay at least $100, just do a prepayment of $100. And then when they pick it up, they'll owe the $74.58, okay? If you add a deposit, deposits are really designed for, you have no clue what the price is, so you're just going to take $50. That $50 can be applied to the ticket later, or you can return it to the customer, okay? If you need to reprint tags as an option, but let's do a prepayment at this point. It's an edited ticket, so most likely they're not in front of you, but if they walk back in later and they want to pay, they can. So let's prepay $100, and they're going to pay cash. Now they're underpaying by $74, so the ticket's going to show that they still owe $74.58, but they prepaid that partial amount. Okay. Let's come down here. Let's do a print and choose the day of pickup. And normally you would just hit print, sends to the printer. If you're just editing the ticket and you want to email it to the customer if they have an email on file, or if you just want to preview it. If you've edited a quick ticket, you definitely want to reprint it, okay? If you've edited a ticket and changed it, you definitely want to reprint it, okay? So we're going to come down here. You're going to see lots of items on this ticket. Subtotal 116. They prepaid 113. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that. And at that point, you're pretty much done edit ticket. It's a little complicated when you start moving things around, but basically allows you just to change it, to clear it, to reprint it, etc., etc. So thank you for joining us in this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.